all fun and games until he bites you in the face.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. My name is Matt and it's armor testing day. That's also my little four-wheeler in the background. I have a plate from Hwin. This is a single curve 10 by 12 level 4 plate. It has a alumina and polyethylene. It weighs approximately 7 pounds and is just under 1 inch thick. Hwin actually contacted me and asked to perform some of these tests on their plates. I try to stick to a few NIJ constants as possible on my channel. That's why you guys usually come here, because I give you a lot of data. So we test at 45 feet. That is the NIJ testing distance for rifles. We test at 0 degrees, or as close as possible, because that is worst case for the armor, best case for me. We use this giant clay briefcase that you see right here, filled with Roma Plastilina #1 clay from Hwin. It's been sitting out in the sun, so it is pretty warm. I can't certify it at the temperature that a controlled lab can, so it just gives us a representation of back face. Because this is a ceramic strike face piece of armor, we've gone ahead and dropped it on its face 2 times per the NIJ standard. I do detect a fairly good amount of foam on the front of that face, so that should protect it from dropping. I've also gone ahead and marked the outermost edge of the ceramic strike face. One of the things that we've noted with a lot of import plates is they keep the weight down, because the NIJ will test at a minimum 2 inches from the edge, sometimes 3 depending on the threat. So they play a little gray area there with the ceramic strike face. So it's nice to see that we're getting close to the edge, but there still could be some more improvement there. Obviously, the more ceramic, the heavier it's going to be. At the beginning of all my videos, I put a little spreadsheet right here so you get a little foreshadowing of what I'm going to shoot. If you want to skip around, that's fine. I'm just glad you're here watching, and at the end we fill that out so you have that little summary. Without further ado, I'm going to destroy this armor. All right, we're ready to take our first shots. We go right to the NIJ specification, which is M2AP 163, 165 grain steel core projectile, going 2880 feet per second, plus or minus 30. Because of the heat and the use of the suppressor in our 300 Hwin mag, we may see just a little bit over that. Then I have the creme de la creme 300 Hwin Chad, our plus P plus variant, which we should see over 3100 feet per second today with this. That's kind of the differentiator with some of the level 4s, if your plate can stop this plus P plus variant. We've been starting at the top left and right of the plate with these 2 shots, and then all of our subsequent shots have been going elsewhere. This is a 24-inch TC compass with a JK Armament rifle kit on the end to make the kids happy. All right. Good velocity off that one. Let's go see what we did. All right, here was our standard pressure shot right here. We were within specification. Our plus P plus variant, a little on the slow side today, but in our prior testing, we've seen anything going over 3150 in our alumina not being able to stop it. So I didn't feel a need to hopefully not put a hole in my clay. But we are far enough away from each shot that I would consider those a fair hit. We will take the straps off. My helper will peel the plate down carefully, maybe. Uh-oh, raggy. Still have a penetration with that. Here is our core from our M2AP. That thing is very long, and you have to erode that with the ceramic to get it to stop, but it's just couldn't do it that time. Now, our standard pressure shot, not a very big dimple there. That's a very controlled back face that I see there, and it looks like it tried to stop the plus P plus variant, but just couldn't quite get there. You can see here's some of that foam they use on the edge because they don't have ceramic all the way out to the edge. I do believe this is the little 2x2 square tiles. We always do a tear down at the end. So we'll shoot this with some 5.56 and 308 threats now. As far as our back face goes, it's hard for me to measure it because the clay is not up to temperature. So this is just a representation, but we're looking right at about 19 millimeters on our standard pressure. Now I want to test the durability of this plate. Typically what I see with import plates is there's not good adhesion between the ceramic strike face and the polyethylene backer. So when those two materials start separating and falling apart is when the multi-hit capability of these plates, even though they're not really rated for multi-hit, that multi-hit rating kind of takes a dive because the ceramic is falling out of it and not staying adhered together. So I have a 22-inch TC compass here in 308 Winchester. Got the JK Armament rifle kit still on there to keep the kids happy. I have some standard M80 ball. It's 145, 150 grain full metal jacket. I have the Army's new 130 grain M80A1. Has a very large steel tip that's exposed and a copper core. Then I have an older armor piercing P80 black tip. This is 152 grains, has a steel core in it as well, kind of like M2AP, but not as long. We'll take a few shots just around the plate. The P80 black tip will be last. We should see, as I drop the rounds, right around 2,800 feet per second from the M80 ball. This will be on the left side of the plate, about 4 inches down from the standard pressure M2AP. Then I'll place this one in the same spot, but on the right side of the plate. A little too far to the right that time. Still on the regular M80 ball, I will place this right in the middle of the Hwin logo. Now our M80A1. I gotta find a good spot for that. This will be the left, or in the middle left side lower. Good velocity off that. And now our P80 black tip. This will be right next to the M80A1. Hopefully I get a chronograph reading off this. It's a little off to the right a little bit. Cool. Let's go see what we did. All right, straps have already come off. Place your bets in the comments below. Little tiny helper hand, remove thy plate. Hey, no pass-throughs at all. We got a little bit of a dimple here on, that was the P80 black tip, a little close to the edge there. Still stopped it. Dimple there. A little dimple there on, that was the M80 ball edge shot, but close up, here was shot number 1, number 2, number 3, then the A1 was down here, then our black tip was down there. Pretty impressive that this plate held up to it. I see that they've added, like I said, some strike face foam to the front of this plate. Now the downside is, because of where I shot this, I'm not sure if there's any solid parts left on this plate to take any more shots. As far as our back face goes, I would say these shots down, that's probably the worst of them all. So like this one over here from the first shot, about 26 millimeters. This guy down here, about 18. Our middle shot, 29, and then the P80 black tip, 47. So the NIJ allows up to 44. So this clay is pretty warm today because, like I said, it's 90 degrees outside, but it's not quite warm enough, and I can't certify it out here. So in an actual NIJ test, you probably would see failing back face on that one. Here are the guts of our Hwin 10x12 level 4 plate. As mentioned, they are using a standard 2x2, in most places, alumina tile. We've got some of the half little rectangles in different areas towards the edge. Here is our little reduced strike face edge foam. There is some foam up front. I'm not sure if you'd classify that as high density or not, because it seemed to fall apart pretty quickly when struck, but it's foam, so it's helping. Again, I'd still like to see some kind of better adhesion to bond all of this ceramic together and then bond it to the PE backer. The PE backer seemed to do a really good job this time of controlling back face from what we've seen with some of the other import plates. Doesn't seem to be too much degradation going on there. Just that plus P plus M2AP squeaked right through there. There's a little bit of foam on the outside edge to protect against any edge bumps. No foam on the back. Some plates put a foam on the back to help with back face, but this one, maybe just a smidgen of foam. It's really hard to say there, or see I should say, but there you have it. Pretty standard construction. Well folks, there you have it. That concludes another body armor test over here at the range. Our Hwin 10x12 plate didn't do too bad. Like I mentioned, one of the things that I've seen with the import plates, testing them, time and time again, is we need to find a way to have better adhesion to keep all those ceramic tiles together and then keep that ceramic bonded to the PE backer as well as possible. We stopped our M2AP with no problem. Our plus P plus continues to be a problem for most plates, so I'm going to enter a challenge for any manufacturer that can come out with a plate that can stop my plus P plus, multiple rounds of it even. Our 308 M80 ball and our M80A1 didn't pose a threat to this particular plate. The ceramic strike face is thick enough that it eroded enough of that EPR round that it didn't stand a chance. As I come to a close in all my videos, I take a moment to thank all those who helped make these possible. Number one is my Patreon supporters. Number two is Richard from Hwin, who contacted me to test these plates. And of course, number three is you all for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you at the range.